Junie B. Jones is not a crook. Written by Barbara Park. Chapter 5. Gargling and Scribbling. Room 9 is way far from Principal's office. I had to stop at the water fountain, or else I might not make it. I pressed the water button with my thumb. Then I puckered up my lips, and I sucked the water in. I didn't even put my mouth on the spout, 'cause there's lip dirt on that thing, of course. I sloshed the water all around in my cheeks. Then I bended my head way back, and I did some gargles. I can gargle very perfect, except I can't keep the water in my actual mouth. It rotted out the sides and dribbled on the floor. I splashed in it with my toe. That's when I saw something very wonderful down there. Hey, it's one of those pens that writes 4 different colors, I said. I quick picked it up and pushed the little red button on the top. A red pen popped out the bottom. I scribbled a red scribble all over my hand. Wowie, wow, wow, I love this thing, I said. After that, I pushed the green button and scribbled green scribble. And I pushed the blue button and scribbled blue scribble. Plus also, I pushed the black button and scribbled black scribble. This pen makes scribbling a pleasure, I said. I put it in my pocket and started skipping to room 9. Only too bad for me, 'cause all of a sudden I remembered about the lost and found. I stopped. Oh no, I wish I didn't even remember about that, I said. Now I have to take my pen to the lost and found, or else I won't wear a grin. I did a frown. 'Cause something didn't make sense here, that's why. Yeah, only I was already wearing a grin, I said. I weared a grin as soon as I saw this wonderful thing, and so taking it to the office will only make me sad. I tapped on my chin. Maybe Principal is a little mixed up about this, I said to just myself. I'm pretty sure I will be happier if I keep it. And here's another thing I am thinking. I am thinking whoever owned this pen didn't even take good care of it. So I will give it a good home. And so what can be a gooder deed than that? I took it out of my pocket and looked at it. Plus, this even makes sense, 'cause first I got my mittens stolen, and then I couldn't have the teddy backpack. And so keeping this pen is fair and square. All of a sudden, my whole face lighted up, 'cause I just thought of a different poem, that's why. And it is called Finders, Keepers, Losers, Weepers. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers, I said real thrilled. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Then I jumped up and down very happy, 'cause everybody says that. And so, finders, keepers is really the rule, I bet. After that, I put my pen back in my pocket, and I skipped the rest of the way to room 9. Chapter 6. My Grandpa's Wallet. I kept my pen in my pocket the whole rest of the day. I didn't want people to see it, or else they might tattletale to Mrs., and she would make me take it to the lost and found. I behaved myself very good, 'cause I didn't want to attract attention, that's why. I kept my hand in my pocket so my pen would not fall out. Also, I kept thinking about my mittens, 'cause I still missed those furry guys. I put my head down on my table. Maybe my Grandpa Miller might buy me some more furry mittens, I whispered, 'cause that would be a perfect solution, I think. I raised up my head. Hey, yeah, then I would have wonderful new mittens plus a wonderful new pen. And so what more can a girl ask for? That's what I'd like to know. I sat up in my chair and tapped on Lucille. Guess what, Lucille? Maybe my Grandpa Frank Miller might buy me some new mittens. And then all my troubles will be over. Lucille said whoop-de-doo for me. I know it is whoop-de-doo, I said, real thrilled. And so, thank you for your support. After school, me and my bestest friend named Grace rode the bus together. I ran home from my corner like a speedy bullet. My Grandpa Frank Miller was babysitting my brother named Ollie. Grandpa Frank Miller, we gotta go to the mitten store. I hollered real loud. Grandpa Frank Miller was in the living room rocking Ollie. He looked funny at me. Go where? He asked. To the mitten store. We gotta go to the mitten store. I pulled on his hand. Get up. Let's get a wiggle on. Grandpa Miller looked confused at me. That's how come I had to sit down, and I told him what happened at school. Someone stole my mittens, I said. They stole them while I was being Brownie, and I didn't even know there were crooks at that place. Grandpa Frank Miller shook his head, very sad. I guess you can find crooks almost anywhere, honey, he said. I know it, I told him. That's how come I'm never going to see those furry guys again, and so you and me have to go to the mitten store. I felt in his back pocket. Then I danced around real thrilled. Hooray! I shouted. Hooray for your big fat wallet, 'cause you got cash in there, right, Grandpa? Right? Grandpa Frank Miller laughed. Yes, I do. I've got cash all right, he said. But I'm afraid we won't be able to buy you more mittens. The mittens I bought you were the only furry ones they had left. I bought the very last pair. Just then, all the happy went right out of me, 'cause I didn't actually count on this terrible development. Yeah, only we have to, Grandpa. We have to buy more furry mittens, or what else will I even do? Grandpa Miller ruffled my hair. Did you look in the lost and found at school? He asked. I did a sad breath. Yeah, only that dumb thing doesn't work that good, 'cause people don't always turn stuff in. I patted my new pen in my pocket. Trust me on this, I said real soft. Well, your mittens could still turn up, he said. Folks will surprise you sometimes. Then he told me a story about his wallet. A few years ago, I lost my wallet at the mall. I was sure I would never see it again, he said. I bobbed my head up and down. I know it. That's because of finders keepers, losers weepers, I said. Finders keepers, losers weepers is the rule, right, Grandpa? Grandpa Miller smiled. Well, it might be the rule for some people, he said. But luckily, it's not the rule for everyone. Because the very next day, when I went out to get my mail, there it was. My wallet was sitting right smack in the middle of my mailbox, and not one single penny was missing. His eyes looked happy and sparkly. Can you imagine that, little girl? he asked. Someone had the chance to take everything in my wallet, but instead, they drove all the way to my house, and they put it in my mailbox. Just then, he reached in his back pocket and pulled out his wallet. Look what I would have lost if they hadn't returned it, he said. He took a picture out of his wallet and handed it to me. It's you and a baby, I said. But that's not just any baby, he said. That's you, Junie B. That's a picture of the very first time I ever held you. He took the picture back and stared at it. Nicest thing a stranger ever did for me, bringing this picture back, he whispered real soft. Then he leaned over again, and he kissed me on my head